What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to All Things Football. Today's episode of the United Talk is obviously going to be a reaction to our 29th consecutive unbeaten match in the Premier League, which is obviously a record which we are still setting against West Ham at the London Stadium. The 2-1 victory came after a long and treacherous 90 minutes in which I personally believe we should have had at least 2 penalties, but obviously the referee thought different than me. It was a great match, I think. I enjoyed watching it. We had a few standout performers today. West Ham were a decent, I wouldn't say any more than decent opponent to come up against, but in the end, obviously, we came out with a 2-1 victory. Ronaldo with yet another goal, and Lingard on, I guess, you want to call it a homecoming? Or maybe something like that?
I mean, the West Ham fans were definitely telling him to come home. And, I mean, he came home and he scored against you guys. So I don't know what to say about that. But, yeah, we'll go straight into the lineups. Obviously, the lineups announced hour before game. And back four, I think we can agree, is basically what we thought it would be. There was obviously debate around Wan-Bissaka. He got sent off midweek against Young Boys. Maybe Solskjaer could have dropped him potentially for Dalot. However, Wan-Bissaka did step in and retain his space.
I mean, I think obviously he got sent off. I think he's going to probably bring Dalot in maybe for a half or maybe a full game the match before our next European game, because obviously Wan-Bissaka is still eligible for domestic competition, but I don't think it would have made sense to bring Dalot in now, because Wan-Bissaka is obviously the first choice. He's obviously the better right back for what we want to do. Because we have Varane, we have Maguire, Shaw, and Wan-Bissaka, obviously. We have a good defence, but we do need to have good defenders, because if we had someone like Dalot in today who isn't as good defensively as Wan-Bissaka, I think we would have struggled a little bit more, because Wan-Bissaka had a great game. I think he was one of our best players today. Impeccable defensively. One sus challenge, he got given as a foul on Wan-Bissaka.
I'm telling you, when I saw that, I was thinking, what is this guy doing? That is so reckless. In the box.
Yeah.
How can you slide? How can you slide like that?
He just misread it completely.
Whether or not he's onside or offside, you can't just slide like that. You can't do it. Luckily, he was offside. But that, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I actually couldn't believe it. Good evening, Big Ron.
Good evening.
But, yeah, onto midfield, McTominay and Fred. McTominay and Fred. McFred. It's back. They're back. Didn't take only long.
Do you know what? I have a few things to say about this. Well, 2 or 3 maybe. The way I looked at the starting lineup, I went onto the Fantasy Premier League app and I kind of just had my phone out and had my hands scrolling down just so I could see the players one by one. I saw Fred, hoping it would be Matic, and I was like, okay, Fred's back in. Pogba's going to partner him in the midfield. I couldn't see Sancho's name, but then I saw McTominay, and I was thinking in my head, he had surgery less than a month, maybe 3 weeks ago.
That's what I didn't get. How
the whole it confuses me.
How can one recover from surgery that quickly?
Doesn't make sense.
Literally, you've been cut open, and now you're on the pitch.
Exactly. I understand that football clubs, especially the more elite football clubs, have access to the best healthcare and all of that, the best surgeons, the most best and urgent surgeons. So I can understand the speed difference from a footballer to a normal person, but I've had cuts on my feet that have kept me out for longer than Scott McTominay's been out for. I want to know what happens after the surgery, what supplements they take, not obviously illegal supplements, but what they do
to speed up the recovery.
Yeah,
there's definitely something. Obviously, they work with sports scientists who obviously that's what they're based around, research. They know what to give players to recover quickly. That's how players are able to play 3 games a week potentially. And it's crazy. I mean, how would you sum up his performance?
It was average. I couldn't say that he had a bad game, because he didn't. I'm not going to be unfair like that. I think he had a better game than Fred, who somehow lasted 87 minutes, I think. But he didn't do anything special. I think he brought a bit of different energy to the midfield. He played one through ball to Ronaldo.
Yeah,
that was a nice ball, and you can tell in general the impact of Ronaldo, because there was a clip from last season when Cavani was the striker. I cannot remember the team we're playing against, but Cavani always makes runs. Greenwood has the ball, Fernandes, Pogba, anyone has the ball, Cavani makes a run. He doesn't make a run when McTominay has the ball because he knows the type of player he is. But this season, well, from what I've seen from Ronaldo, it's just this game, basically. Scott McTominay is looking for that run. He's looking for Ronaldo. He's looking for progressive play. And I think that I think that's down to Ronaldo, because he's come in and everyone just looks better. Everyone looks better. Obviously, we lost in midweek and we played terrible, but everyone looks better.
We've been saying it, the Ronaldo effect. He's going to put pressure on everyone else to improve themselves. Fred, today, I can see the pros and cons from today with Fred.
Yeah.
Pros are defensively, he does win tackles, does fit in and win the back. But obviously, what we know with Fred is his touch is bad, his passes are bad, he loses possession. But at the same time, today I can't really get onto Fred as much as I usually would, because we won the game. I think his pros just slightly outweighed his cons today. And Solskjaer, again, as Big Ron says, the performance from us was a lot better from midweek. Played as a team with a plan. Was it perfect? No, but a big improvement.
I think that's spot on.
I think it's spot on because we won the game at the end of the day. Second half, West Ham didn't do that much. I mean, this always happens when we play these kind of clubs, is that first half, they always press us. They always have the pressure, but they're not able to sustain that. Whereas Man United will always come out in the second half even better. And we'll keep going to the last minute. 89th minute is when Jesse Lingard scored.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll move on to the attack. We look more solid with McFred. Sad to say, but we do.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think there's one of the main reasons for that is because that was the midfield that Ollie had when he came in. So that's what he had to put his trust in the beginning. And once we went on that fantastic run when Ollie came in, we didn't play very well for a while. And then we went on another run and we didn't play well for a while. And then we went on another run. McFred has been the consistent pairing throughout all of that. And I think it's just easy for him to put his trust in, because Fred looked a little bit better today. He didn't have the best game, didn't have a bad game. I think he would probably like maybe out of 10 a 6, which is roughly the same as McTominay. They look more comfortable together. It's easy to say that they're terrible. Individually, as a DM, I don't think that they're good. They need to be playing next to each other for there to be like a cohesive unit in there. If you put Pogba in there instead of Fred, it might not be as good because Pogba doesn't do the same job that Fred does. If you put Pogba in there or Van der Beek or Matic in there instead of McTominay or Fred, it won't look as good because they don't do the same job that whoever they replace does. And that's why I think McFred, they're so used to each other. They know what McTominay is going to know what Fred's weaknesses are better than we do, because he has to mop up his mistakes sometimes. He has to know where he can stand when Fred's receiving the ball. He's the one speaking to him. And it's going to be the same with Fred to McTominay. So that's why I think they fit so well together. They know their weaknesses and strengths, and they've been playing together for so long now. It's difficult to just get rid of it. And although we don't like it, and I know you don't like Fred, I don't like Fred, I don't like the pairing because I want to see Pogba Matic. My pairing would be Pogba Matic, because I think that's perfect balance. As much as we don't like that, this is what we have to deal with. And Big Ron is right, we do look more solid, and I think that might be our best pairing, not in terms of quality, but in terms of assurance within the squad.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously Pogba therefore was on the left, Bruno Fernandes in the 10, and Greenwood on the right, Ronaldo up front. And the thing is, Ollie knows we just need to have Pogba in the team. Doesn't matter where, he just needs to be on the pitch. So obviously today on the left, Sancho benched, and I think it was good. I think when Pogba's on the left, he's on free roam basically. You'll see him in the midfield, gliding past players. He was literally man of the match contention today.
Obviously,
he got brought off. So again, Ollie with his subs, I'm not too sure.
They are wild.
Very crazy subs and very peculiar timings because it just doesn't make any sense. Why is he making a sub? Was it like 75th? I don't know when it was. Like 75th, around that mark, because usually he makes subs around like the 60th minute. But it just didn't.
Sorry, I do have a question for you. You were at the game today.
Yeah.
You were sitting in the West Ham side. What is it like when Pogba comes off? Knowing Pogba's one of our most dangerous players, and the West Ham fans will know that. Is there like a relief, or are they happy to see Pogba come off?
I guess at that point, the West Ham fans were already kind of getting frustrated with their team because they would win the ball and then lose it again.
Yeah,
because they'll be in pen back. They were just sitting in their defensive block for the majority of the second half. To be honest, when that first challenge happened in the first half, where Pogba got injured, the West Ham fans were onto his back from then. Whenever he touched the ball, booing.
Yeah.
Ever since then. But I heard West Ham fans talking about him, saying he's just quality, his feet, full tall guy is very good. People know of his quality, so they're obviously scared. And I'm sure they would have been relieved to see him come off. And obviously they were happy to see Jesse Lingard come back on. When Jesse Lingard came off the bench to start warming up, the West Ham fans were singing his name, singing songs about how he should be at home, all of this stuff, come back home. Yeah, they loved it. And obviously he came back onto the pitch, him and Sancho came on. And Jesse Lingard ended up scoring a great goal, fantastic goal in the 89th minute, top bins. And I think Lingard has to stay at Man U. Yes, it's kind of selfish on our behalf because he can be playing week in, week out, starting games for someone like West Ham. But we need him. We need that quality off the bench. When we haven't got anything going, we need someone to just do something out of nothing. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
That Match's sub was outside the box. Did not see that coming, but Matic came on. Assist for Jesse, praising Ollie for that one. I think Ollie knows how to use someone like Jesse. I think he used him wrongly midweek. He's learned from that mistake. Today he's learned Jesse Lingard can literally create out of nothing. Literally, there was nothing on when he had the ball in that box. Nothing really much in the box. Decides to cut in and just shoot, and we've won the game. Whole team looked more comfortable with McFred. The team got us to second. It's true. We had McFred, we got second. We now have Ronaldo in our team. We have Sancho, who's yet to get into his stride. Again, Sancho today, I didn't really see too much of him. He didn't get too many touches on the ball, but I think it's going to take a while for Sancho. I think he needs to adjust, and Bundesliga is very different to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah, I think once that comment there, the whole team looked more comfortable with McFred. I think, obviously I said it, so I think it's true. And the team did get us second last year. But all I say to that is we have McFred in the midfield who individually aren't our best midfielders. Probably the bottom two in terms of technical ability and their actual ability on the pitch. So we've gotten used to them because we've had to watch them grow together. They had to start from somewhere and grow together. So what I don't understand is, I know that as a fan, Ollie will know that as a manager, and all of his science and stats all behind that. Why can't he give those positions to Matic and Pogba? And I said this last week, play Matic just in the Premier League games, because that's once a week, because he can't do it 3 times a week anymore. Because you've seen it happen. He can't do it. He doesn't have the engine for that. He doesn't have the legs. He's getting older. He's not old, but he's getting older. And when he came on, what you saw with the assists especially was a progressive pass. It took out two or three West Ham players. I couldn't tell you a time that our defensive midfielders did that in a match. Obviously, you've got Pogba, Bruno, whatever, who will play those passes with their eyes closed. But McTominay and Fred don't play those balls without 5 seconds of hesitation. Matic played that instinctively because he has that quality. He has confidence in his passing ability to be able to pull those passes off without any problems. That pass, it's not the easiest pass, because you have to think about, if I pass it too hard, it's going to be a terrible pass. If I don't pass it hard enough, it's going to get intercepted by one of those 3 players. But he made it look easy. And that's why I believe he needs to play in the league with someone like Pogba. And because think, when Rashford comes back in, where's Pogba going?
That's the thing. Pogba definitely has to be. I think Oli obviously wants to transition to 4-3-3 with 2 8s and the DM.
Yeah.
Because he knows Pogba is more effective on the left. Obviously, when he's playing left wing, he's not left wing. I say when he plays left wing, he's more of an 8.
Yeah.
Rather than playing on the left wing. So obviously he knows Pogba is best in that position. Rashford comes back. It's hard because he doesn't have anyone who you can trust to play in that sole DM role. And when Rashford does come back, it does mean Pogba would have to play CM or with the 2 in the pivot. However, it can't really work. That's the thing. It can't work Pogba defensively.
Look,
touch the ball.
Yeah, we're talking about a sole DM. We're trying to evolve into a 4-3-3, which is something which we've seen from United over the years. Roy Keane, after the game on Sky Sports, the post-match analysis, or whatever, they were talking about Declan Rice. Roy Keane saying he thinks the next step up is a team like Man United, Champions League football, because he is one of the better DMs in the league, and he can definitely. Yeah, I think Declan Rice can definitely do the sole job for Manchester United as a DM in the midfield with Pogba and Bruno ahead of him, because there you have someone who's able to just shuffle across left and right in front of the defense, pick up the ball. Progressive passing is something which he does need to improve, but he's only 22, and obviously he has about 10 to. Look, he's going to be playing top level football for the next 10 to 14 years. So in that time, probably in the next 6 or 7 months, if he was to join a team like Manchester United, his progressive play is something which would get targeted and told he needs to improve. That's why I think bringing someone like that in would be perfect for us, because then you could put Pogba next to Bruno in the midfield just ahead. But until we get someone like that, Matic has to play, because he is what we need there. If Matic was 26 or 27, I believe we'd have the best team in the league, because there you have someone who can do everything to an elite level. Because let's not forget, Matic is one of the better defensive midfielders in Europe when he was at Chelsea. He was very, very, very good. And obviously he dropped off a little bit when he came to us after the first season, in which he was good. He dropped off a little bit, and now we have an aging Matic that can't do it 50 times a season. He can probably do it 25 times a season, 30 times a season, if you're pushing it 35 times a season at a very, very high level. But until we get someone like Rice, that's why we need Nemanja Matic.
Yeah. It's the split seconds that make a difference. Zipping the ball's a potential opportunity. Fred is too slow. Matic is capable, and Scott has his moments. Fred, I was saying Fred, there was a moment where spaces opened up. They played it fast to Fred. His touch let him down, and West Ham had the ball. It's just those small things in the Premier League. If we're up against Man City, that split decision, that split second, we're on the counter-attack. City score. It's those differences. But right now we're not getting punished, lucky enough. But we need to improve that quickly. But yeah, onto the attack. Cristiano Ronaldo. I saw him live in the flesh. I saw him score.
How was it? Because I've never seen him live.
I was just staring at him. I was staring at him the whole game. I was like, he was just. There was moments in the game. It was just showboating, like literally. I don't know on the TV.
Yeah, I did.
That's just Ronaldo, but he can do it because he knows he's going to score at the end of the day, and that's what he did. Great ball from Bruno Fernandes, another assist to Ronaldo, and he just finished off his own rebound. Get us back into the game, 1-1. Literally, that was like 5 minutes after Benrahma's goal, which was obviously deflected off Varane, but it was still Benrahma's goal because it was going on target. But yeah, first half, West Ham were obviously playing very well and were attacking. However, as we said, half-time 1-1, and then we entered the second half. I'm confident because we haven't lost away from home. How many games is it now?
The record stands at 29 games unbeaten away from home. We are 2 clear of Arsenal, which is the record we equaled and then broke a few weeks ago. I can't take credit for what I'm about to say because I heard Mark Goldbridge say it, I think he's right. The reason we have such a good record away from home and the reason that I don't think we play that well for the full 90 minutes is because we react. When we're away from home, we don't. I think a perfect example of this, by the way, is when we bought a Matic. I don't think we would bring on Matic if West Ham don't bring on Lanzini. They bring on an attacking player, and we bring on fresh legs in the defensive midfield position to basically counteract that. But we when we go away from home, we just try not to concede. We don't try to go out and win. We just try to go out and not concede, and that's why when we concede, it's like, oh, we have to play 10 times better now because we actually have to win. It's almost like an ego thing. We have a super team and the players know they're part of a very, very good team, one of the best in Europe. And when they go out and concede, it's like, oh my God, we can actually concede. We're this good, but we can still concede. We have to go out and win now. And that's why I think you see such a noticeable difference in performance levels between a 0-0 and a 0-1 in terms of like if we're losing or something. And that I think it needs to change, but I also think that's why we have the record, because we play way like harder in terms of I feel like we put more effort in away from home than we do at home. If you get what I'm trying to say.
I want to go on to Ollie. Obviously midweek it wasn't good enough against Young Boys. Obviously we went to 10 men, but 10 men can still survive against 11. The game plan just didn't work on Tuesday. Today, obviously people are always saying no tactics, blah blah blah. I can see patterns of play, but it's the same pattern of play which doesn't work. We get the ball out wide on the right, we put it back to Bruno Fernandes or McTominay, and they try to do first time cross. Sometimes it doesn't work. Then we go on to the left. Obviously we don't have Rashford on the left, so it's a bit different story on the left. Luke Shaw tries to get the ball into the box. Doesn't work. We go back to the centre-backs. We go back to Wan-Bissaka, go back to Greenwood. And then it's played backwards again. It's that same pattern. But then at some periods of time in the game, we start playing it a bit faster. And when we play it faster, that's when opportunities arise. That's when we open more spaces. If we can do that more often in the game, we'll score so many more goals. But the thing is that we don't always do that. We don't always play it that fast. And I just don't know why.
I don't know why either, but I think it has to go back to the management and the coaching. It has to be tactics. I think we had at one point in the first half, quite late on in the first half, 75% possession, because we were dominating the ball, but we weren't doing much with it. I mean, you have Ronaldo who until probably about halfway through the season when Ronaldo's properly integrated into this team, I still think he's an individual in this team, because before Ronaldo comes, we have 75% possession, but we have about one shot. Now Ronaldo's here, we have 75% possession, but he has 7 shots. When he gets the ball, he shoots, and that's why we score. That's why we create chances. That's why we score rebounds, and that's why there's so many people crowded around the area. But it's like, other than Ronaldo, we don't do much. There's no... I can understand and I can totally get you when your whole team is around the area and you're passing it, trying to find that gap. But we just don't play it through the gap. We just don't.
It's because we don't pass it quick enough.
Yeah,
teams like City will play it quicker. When you get into final third, that's when they play it quick. Beforehand, they might play it slow build up. That's what Pep does. Slow build up, move the other team around, and then boom, they turn up the gear, play it fast, score.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do. We need that switch of tempo. I believe players like Sancho can, when he's back, when Sancho is obviously integrated and he's settled, he's the type of player that can turn up the tempo. That's what he used to do at Dortmund. He'd be running slow the ball and then he'd just turn up and then change the tempo of the game. Someone like Rashford used to do that, can do that as well. Ronaldo can't really do it because he hasn't really got the legs to do it. But yeah, I think it will take time.
I think it's going to be tricky for Sancho because at Dortmund him and Haaland linked up very well. Him and Royce, him and Guerrero, him and Emre Can and Gio Reyna, they linked up very well. But at Dortmund, what's different to United, and which is why I think Sancho thrived there, and which is why I think it's going to take him a bit of time to adjust to the way we play, not the Premier League, but the way we play, is because he's playing a team at Dortmund that he can give the ball to someone and get it back instantly. It sounds weird and it sounds a bit useless, but in that instant pass, you create a space, someone else drops off, someone else makes a run, and he gets it back instantly. That's why he has so much time. And that's why he's able to play those balls through to Haaland that look so simple, because he's in such like vast amounts of space. You might be thinking, it's just lucky the Bundesliga is terrible. No, it's because he's playing with players that understand him on a footballing level and understand what is going to get the best out of him and everybody else around him. Quick passes, give and goes is going to create the space. But at Manchester United, you can't have a quick pass, give and go with McTominay. You can't do that with Fred. You can do that with Bruno, but not all the time, because Bruno does like the Hollywood pass. And they do come off a lot. But in terms of us, I'm thinking in the head of Sancho now, it's not going to be the most beneficial for him. Pogba, almost the same, but Pogba, he is improving his time on the ball, I have noticed. And I think Ronaldo might have to be his Haaland. But I think it's just going to take a bit of time for him to adjust his game a little bit. Not too much to a point where we're just getting a completely different player to the one that we signed from Dortmund, but just enough that he can reproduce those numbers that he had in Germany, but just in a different way to the way he was playing in Germany. Because I can just comment, Big Ron's comment there, Sancho will have to refine his game, definitely. We're not going to start playing like Dortmund, obviously, because I think they play better football than us. But you can slowly start to see the quality players that we have. We're creating more chances for Ronaldo because it's Ronaldo. It's like we have to create chances for him because it's Ronaldo. So they're forcing the chances, which is good because they're getting made. Sancho's coming, a world-class winger. He's going to have to refine his game, but so is everybody else. Because you have someone like... Look, when Bruno came in, the way we play changed. We just give him the ball. It's not the best way to play, but we give him the ball and he'll do stuff with it because the pressure was lifted off Pogba. Then we had those two. Then we had Rashford, who was carrying for a bit. The more quality players you bring in, everyone's going to refine their game, but the football you play changes because Ole, I can't say Ole's bad because he's taken us to places we haven't been in a while. But the intelligence of the players that we have in the team now somewhat is going to override and challenge what Ole's trying to make the players do. And I think you can see it.
I feel like it's a matter of time before everything clicks. Right now, nothing's clicked. You can see it on the pitch. Nothing's clicked yet. Yeah. And I think when it clicks, I'm just in two minds right now because what I saw on Tuesday, it was just so poor. It was so bad, and it was down to management. Yeah. All of this is down to management because the players on the pitch are good enough. So it's obviously down to management. But at the same time, I'm lenient at the same time. I know give them time and it will click. It will click. But yeah, we're talking about playing it fast. Donny van der Beek didn't even come on. He's the type of player who one-touch football again. Yeah, Solskjaer not using him. Midweek came on, or he started the game and then comes off after halftime or whatever. Whereas Fred stayed on, and Fred stayed on for way too long today, and Donny didn't even come on. I just don't know what Donny has to do. What does Donny have to do to play?
Leave. That's simple answer. He just needs to leave. Moving to United was the worst thing for his career. He needs to leave Manchester United. McTominay's had surgery, hasn't played a match, and he goes straight back in and plays the 490. What does Van der Beek have to do? He needs to leave. And I think that's the only answer you can get right now because...
Yeah, that's true. Imagine you're Van der Beek and you're seeing, this guy's just come out of hospital, he's just been cut open. I mean, now he's on the pitch and I'm here. I've been fit. I've been in the gym. I've been training, and now you just come back into training and now you're starting the game. What? He must be hurt.
No, I would be hurt. I would be very, very hurt.
How can you just watch someone just come into training like last week and now he's in the team starting and you're on the bench and don't even come on to the pitch?
because Ollie has his favourites and he's stubborn. He's very, very stubborn. He doesn't care what the fans want the starting lineup to be. He doesn't care what the fans want the substitution to be. Ollie does what Ollie wants, and that's good because he's not going to be easily influenced and kind of be a puppet to the fans. But at the same time, sorry, I just saw that comment. But at the same time, the things he does don't make sense sometimes. You know,
here. If a team loses, who is responsible for the defeat? The manager, the coaches, the players on the pitch, the opposition, the ref, or could it be a combination of them all? Of course,
a combination.
It can be a combination of them all. If we go back to Tuesday against Young Boys, Wan-Bissaka red card, that's one.
So that's the players on the pitch there.
Yeah, players on the pitch could potentially blame the surface of the pitch, which was 3G.
Yeah, we do need to speak about that as well. Sorry.
Definitely the manager and the coaches. We can't just say the manager, it's the manager and the coaches, because the tactics Tuesday were, it's basically all of them, all of those factors, because on Tuesday the manager's decisions were very, very bad.
Do you know what about the coaches? Yeah, do you know Kieran McKenna? I recently found out he was wanted by Barcelona and Bayern Munich before he signed for us under Mourinho. He was very, very sought after. I'm guessing him along with Mike Phelan are the two powerhouses in terms of tactics and whatever, because Carrick hasn't got any experience. Still don't fully know Darren Fletcher's role because I see him in training and all of that. Is he a coach or is he a technical director? But
I think he's technical director.
I don't know the definition of technical director at Man United, but I see him training, so I'm guessing he has some sort of influence on what the proceedings there. But Kieran McKenna, one of the most sought after coaches in Europe at the time, and Mike Phelan, who has a history at United under Sir Alex Ferguson as well. When we always blame Ollie for the bad tactics, I think we have to take some of the blame off Ollie a little bit and redirect it to people like Carrick, McKenna, and Phelan, because I sometimes do feel bad, man. I don't know. It's a tricky one for me to say because obviously I'd love to be a fly on the wall in their tactic meetings and all of that when they have the big screen up and they're analyzing the play. I'd love to understand what they're saying and who is the runner of those meetings.
Obviously tactics. Obviously there are tactics because we haven't really conceded many goals. Like defensively, I wasn't really worried defensively. Obviously, we had Varane, who again, he has that kind of calmness. He brings the calmness to the back line. He settles players like Wan-Bissaka who aren't the best on the ball, but when you have someone like Varane next to you, you're at ease because you know you can just pass it back to him, and he's going to be comfortable on the ball and he's going to play it to someone else. Varane, Maguire, they're building up that partnership, and obviously Luke Shaw's on the left. And then it's just about attacking. Attacking-wise, we have the best attacking talent. But the problem is the midfield, because the midfield is the one that links the defense to the attack. And we can't get the ball to the attack or play it quickly to the attack if the midfield is not capable of doing so. So that is obviously the problem, is the midfield. But apart from that, defense, attack, I think they're good enough. And for the attack, it's just about knowing how each other play. Obviously, Sancho doesn't really know how everyone plays. He needs to get used to playing with everyone. Bruno, obviously, is linking up with Ronaldo well. And then obviously got Greenwood, who has to adjust his game as well, because he's going to have to start playing crosses into the box if Ronaldo's there. He can't always just go and shoot by himself. But if he does shoot, Ronaldo's there for the follow-up or for the rebound. So, as I said, as I keep saying, it's going to take time and it will click eventually.
Yeah, when it clicks, it's going to be dangerous, because looking at the Premier League table now, Liverpool, Chelsea, United make up the top three. Manchester City obviously dropped points yesterday, but the Premier League is really shaping up. And I'm not gonna lie. Did I say it on here? I think we were speaking about it. Manchester City don't look like the team they were a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They look more susceptible to dropping points. They dropped points against Southampton yesterday, and we didn't today. So, look, I think the top three is going to be a very, very strong and tight race between United, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So when our football clicks, because if it hasn't clicked yet and we're still at the top of the league, I mean, that means there has to be a lot more to come. We obviously still have Rashford to come back, Sancho to find form.
There's so many players to come back. As Big Ron says, it'll be a headache when everyone is fit, fitting them in, but we don't have to worry about it yet. But it's a very good thing to worry about. So many players, and if we manage to get like a DM in January, we're winning the league. 21 is coming in 22.
Look, if West Ham don't make it out of the group stages in the Europa League, why could we not go in for Declan Rice?
Declan Rice wouldn't leave West Ham mid-season. He's captain of the club. He wouldn't do that.
Money talks. Champions League knockout stages talk. Money talks.
He wouldn't.
Potential to win the league talks. Look,
he wouldn't do that to West Ham.
If we're in a brilliant position by January, and by that I mean still at the top of the league or 1 or 2 points off the top of the league in the knockout stages of the Champions League, later stages of the domestic. If we're on all four fronts and we're going for Declan Rice, who's just been knocked out of Europe, you're looking at something 200k a week, 210k a week, money, and the potential for 4 trophies. Not like 4 actual trophies, but you could be in for either one of them. Why would he stay at West Ham? From a footballing point of view, why would you stay at West Ham there?
Because he wants Chelsea. Big Ron says
Rice wants Chelsea, but he's open to move to United. They've signed Saul. They got Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Saul. Rice goes there. Who does he take out? Because he's not taking Kante out and he's not taking Jorginho out. He's going to be on the bench. If he comes to United, he will come to United under the, he's not going to come to United if Solskjaer says, you're going to have to try and work your way in over McFred. But you might get there or eventually. He's going to come in to be a starter. He's going to be that one sole CDM. And if you don't want to make him the sole one, you put Pogba next to him or something like that. He's going to come in to start the games. He's going to come in and improve our team.
Yeah. I want to quickly talk about West Ham. Wait, let me see this comment. We need to look within to solve our issues. Throwing money at players are a problem does not necessarily work. But I mean, we can't. We know the issues. The midfield. There's no one in the club who can fill that position right now. That's why we need to invest in a DM. Because what we have in the club cannot do it.
We have Garner coming through, but that's not for now. That's for about 2 or 3 years in the future. But that's about it in terms of centre defensive midfielders. That is.
Yeah. So shortly after, obviously, Lingard scored the winner. The game wasn't over. Luke Shaw decided to block the cross with his hand and went to VAR. And as soon as he went to VAR, knew it was going to be a pen. West Ham decided to substitute Bowen, bring on Mr. West Ham himself, Mark Noble. Comes on, Declan Rice kisses the ball and gives it to him. What's a way to come on, first touch of the game, and David De Gea, Dave saves.
Heroics.
Dave saves his first pen in how long?
Since the 15-16 season.
And what a time to save a pen.
Exactly.
Last minute of the game, 90 plus 4. 90 plus 4. I tell you, as soon as he saved that pen, West Ham fans left the stadium. Got up and walked down the stairs and left.
I mean, I'm watching that match. In all fairness, I had it on mute because I was playing games at the same time. But I kept looking to my right and I kept seeing, when everyone's standing there, you got Mark Nobles. That's when I clocked what was going on because I had it on mute. I wasn't listening. But after I realized what had happened, I looked at the clock because I didn't know it was that late in the match. All I could think was, Dave has to save this. You just knew if any penalty was going to get saved, you just knew it was going to be this one because time. I'd seen all of the penalties that we didn't get, by the way, and then I also saw the penalty that they got, and I just knew I just knew Dave would save it. I wasn't scared. I wasn't nervous. I just had the confidence.
It was a FIFA script. The whole game was FIFA. It was a FIFA
Lingard
script.
winner, Ronaldo goal, penalty last minute save. It was amazing.
That is Premier League. That's Premier League football. That is football.
Corruption. That's what it is.
That is football. They gave the VAR. This is all entertainment. They gave the VAR to give West Ham fans hope. Because they've just seen Lingard score. And now they had to give them hope. And then obviously De Gea had to save the penalty.
Why didn't the other ones go to VAR?
Yeah, Ronaldo's one, I'm pretty sure one of them was definitely a pen.
The last one,
yeah,
and the first one, I think those two are pens. I've been in what time is it now? 10. Probably for about 7 hours, 6.5 hours. I've been debating and trying to understand why people are saying that the Soufal challenge on Ronaldo was not a penalty. Ronaldo has done a step over and beaten Soufal. He's beaten him. All ends up, he's beaten him. Soufal sticks out his leg and then tries to pull out, but his foot's planted in the floor. And Ronaldo's right knee is impeded by Soufal's right knee. All like the arguments I'm getting back, Ronaldo knew what he was doing. It's a dive. It's not a penalty.
Wow. Ronaldo did know what he was doing. He tried to buy a few pens. But
the second one where he got pulled a tiny bit, that wasn't a pen, but he went down dramatically. That wasn't a pen. But the first one, if you're running and someone sticks out their leg and impedes your like running leg, it wasn't a leg that was already planted. It was a leg that was going to take the step. He then can't put his foot down. You can't just float and stay up. You go down because that's where your momentum takes you. I don't see how that wasn't a pen. I can't understand how that wasn't a pen, and that's what I can't get out of my head. The last one, that doesn't even need to go to VAR. Kozuma's just cleaned him out. He just cleaned him out. He's gone to ground. Ronaldo's knocked the ball past him, and he's cleaned him out. If I was Drogba, if Drogba was on the pitch, look at the camera at full time, disgrace. It's a disgrace because the fact that it was just a decision without VAR for me I think it was disgraceful.
Happy for David De Gea. He upped his game, really worked on his distribution. Yeah. De Gea he's our number one. I don't want to hear Henderson stuff. De Gea's number one for Champions League and Premier League. Maybe not Champions League. No, I think Champions League and Premier League. Because Henderson maybe will play next week against West Ham if he's fit in the cup. He'll be a cup team keeper, basically. And yeah, we usually do the fancy in Prem talk, but we might as well look at it today.
I don't want to look at it.
I know a few of my players did well today.
I had 7 points yesterday.
No, I forgot. I have so many injured players on my team. Pickford out, Stones out, Alexander-Arnold out. What?
Yeah, I don't. Ronaldo got a goal, and he's my captain, so double points for that. Bruno Fernandes played, and Greenwood played, and Lloris conceded 3. I probably have about 16 points.
Mine is not that good today.
How many points do you have?
40.
4-0.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Not that good.
Oh, I have 39. Oh, how do I have 39?
That's not that good.
Oh. Ben Rama got subbed on because Torres didn't play. Lovely stuff. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, I'm a bit happier. This might break my camera again, boys. Let's hope it doesn't. There, yeah, it's broken.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why it does that.
I'll show you Anton's team. I'll do that.
I don't know why it does that.
There's your team.
Yeah. Traore, Greenwood, Kucha. I don't know why Kucha's even on the pitch. But yeah, Ben Rama got me a few points there, obviously, with the goal. Ronaldo, of course. Mr. Inevitable. We have the two most inevitable players. Bruno and Ronaldo. It's absolutely amazing. Where am I in the...
Yeah, my team was a mistake because look at these players who are out. I didn't even remove them. I didn't know. Pickford, Stones, Arnold.
I didn't know Alexander-Arnold was going to be out until I saw the halftime thing. Oh, yeah. Alex isn't. Where's Alex? Oh, he is. No, he's second. I am 96 points off top place.
99 points. Wow.
I don't know what it is about me and Ibs, but whenever we have a league together, whenever we're in the same league, we always finish within 1 or 2 places of each other. I mean, it's weird, but we're never near the top either, which is also quite embarrassing.
I just need to copy their team. That's basically it, because right now something's not working. Let me just copy their team, and that should work. But yeah,
Salah. The player at the top doesn't have Bruno in his team, actually.
Best time again next Wednesday, Carabao Cup. Probably be Dean Henderson in goal, Dallo right back, Lindelof and Bailly.
Nah, Maguire's playing.
Okay, Lindelof and Maguire. Tellez, I saw him back in training, maybe.
Probably you might see someone like Elanga play.
Fred and Van der Beek, hopefully. Right. Yeah, someone like Anthony Elanga.
I think Sancho's probably going to start.
Yeah, Sancho, right. Then left someone like Elanga.
Maybe you might see Rashford. You put Sancho on the right. In the 10, I'm gonna have to go with Lingard. I don't think.
Lingard. Yeah, I forgot Lingard.
Put Lingard at 10. I'm gonna say Elanga. Because off the top of my head, Greenwood. Put Greenwood up front.
Oh, yeah, Greenwood up front. Yeah.
Because Ole did say with his own mouth, he has to think about protecting Ronaldo, so he's not going to play Ronaldo every game.
Yeah, of course. Ronaldo doesn't need to play that game on Wednesday. And then obviously Saturday we're at home to Aston Villa, who won 3-0 yesterday against Everton. So that will be a tough game.
Oh, look at this. I'm looking at the stats on Fantasy Prem. We've got the most goals scored in the league. We've got 13 goals. We've got the highest assist and the highest scorer. Pogba with 7 assists. Bruno with 4 goals, tied with Salah and Antonio. We've then got Ronaldo on 3, Greenwood on 3, and Lingard on 2. So, I mean, look, everyone has something that they don't like about the team. I have stuff that I don't like about the team, mainly McFred. But you cannot doubt what is going on at Manchester United. We are a team that is on the up. We've acquired world-class talent, Ronaldo, Sancho, Rafa Varane. It can only get better from here. We've got players to come back as well, Rashford mainly, who I'm talking about. When we have our fully fit team, when we have hopefully a defensive midfielder in January, the sky is the limit. And I genuinely believe we could be in contention for at least 2 trophies this year. At the very least, the FA Cup. If we just win 1 and it's the Carabao Cup, Ole still has to go, in my opinion. If we win 1 trophy and there's a big boy like the Prem or the Champions League, then I'm more than happy for Ole to stay for the next 4 or 5 years because that does show progress. And it's something I'm excited for. I've said it so many times and I've said it again. I get excited to watch Manchester United now because of the players we have and because I think we're just going to win.
For me, it's just because of Ronaldo. I'm just happy to see Ronaldo back. I can't wait for my Ronaldo tops to arrive. Can't wait to go to Old Trafford and see Ronaldo. He's here. He's here to win the league. That's what he's here for. And we're going to win the league. I think that's the best way to say it. Going to win the league.
This is a Man United badge, but we're still hitting it.
Well, yeah. Thank you for watching. This is United Talk. United have won away from home 2-1. Jesse Lingard back in London. And yeah, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Everybody.